Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Gatekeepers. I am Bishop Vanessa M. Brown. I'm your host and moderator for this evening, and we are excited about tonight, excited about our guests, excited about this conversation, and we want to invite you to it. So we're asking everyone to come on in the room, come on to Facebook, come on to Instagram, come on to YouTube, come on to LinkedIn. Come on to YouTube. We are everywhere. We want you to join us. We ask that you share, and let folks know that we are on tonight. We're grateful. Yes, I know that we are excited. People are excited. And do me a favor and share. Share to their inbox, share to their text, right? Or share on their page. I see people already coming in the room. I'm excited to see you tonight. Glad that you are gathering yourself and get your food and your soda and your water or your juice or whatever it is you're having, your dinner. You want to be a part of this conversation tonight. You want to share with folks that we are going to be on. So let me start off by bringing Bishop Flunder on, if I can. I know that she's ready, and we got a surprise for you because it's not just Bishop Flunder, but Mother Miller is also joining us tonight as a part of the conversation. So you know you better go on and tell the people to come on and get in here. We're so glad to see you, Bishop Flunder and Mother Miller. We say welcome to Beyond the Gatekeepers, Mother Miller. It's always a surprise, a deep joy, and a pleasure to have you with us. And you all know who Bishop Flunder is. Bishop Flunder is our presiding bishop and the pastor of City of Refuge United Church of Christ. And Mother Miller, as Bishop Flunder would say, is "Oh Happy Day," right? But she's more than "Oh Happy Day." She's done so much, definitely around gospel music, but certainly, as we would say in the fellowship, she is the fragrance of the fellowship, and we are so glad that she said yes. So y'all go run and tell the people that we are coming. But before we do that, Bishop and Mother, will you all greet our online audience tonight?
Well, of course, you know it is both our joy and privilege to be in the company of our kindred and our friends and our colleagues, particularly in this time. When we are not together online, there's lots of folks who have called, who have written to us through several different ways, frankly, to ask how we are doing in the time that we are in. And that always brings joy to my heart. Family is everything. And it does not always mean blood. It can, in so many ways, speak to our having concern for one another, prayer for one another, holding one another up in such a time as this. And I am tickled and happy to have with us tonight our mother, as we always call Mother Shirley, but she's a genius. If you didn't know it, you'd have to be with her to really know how she is. She's my conversation friend. I can start a sentence and she can pick up the rest, and then I can pick it up again, and then we can sing 2 songs, and all is right with the world. Yes. So I feel real blessed to have Mother with us tonight, and would love for her to say a little something to the children.
I would just like to say greetings to all of you and all of those that are going to join us. I just want to say hello, and that I'm glad to be here and to be a part and to be able to hear what is going on among us as we attempt to do the thing that we need to do, that God has called us to. And I'm just excited about Dr. Pamela Lightsey, because and I'm looking forward to being a part of this conversation.
Yes. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bishop and Mother. Let's greet, before we bring Dr. Lightsey, let's shout out the people that have joined us. We got quite a few. So we have Pastor Ronnie Jordan, who's with us. Greetings from lay Pastor Ronnie Jordan, Rancho Cucamonga, California. Albert Reed from Colleen, Texas. Chuck Jones, Palm Springs. Greetings. Nuruddin Islam, good evening to you, New York City. Dr. Dwayne Davis, Minneapolis. Pastor Kendall Brown, Maryland. Pastor Karen Coleman, Boston. Pastor Siegfried Benton, Temple Hills, Maryland. Dr. Lewis, California. Welcome. Chuck Hunt, Monroe, Louisiana. Welcome. Halloween Thunderword Cohen, welcome to you. God bless you. Pastor Erica, Pennsylvania, thank you for being on. Pastor Leslie Jones, Cincinnati, thank you for being on. Pastor-elect Lucian Washington, thank you for being on. Columbus, Ohio, New York City. Pastor Erica Geralds, thank you for being on. Atlanta, Georgia. Darlene Connell is on YouTube. I see folks on YouTube. Welcome. Queens, New York. Reverend Dr. Tracy Denise Swire is on, California. Reverend Reginald Nichols is on, California. Stockton. Sister Natasha Robinson is on YouTube. Chicago is here. Antoine Johnson, thank you for being on. Lewis Eaton, Boston. Pastor Karen Blass, Katona, New York. People are coming. I want you to tell more folks. get on and be with us on tonight. I promise it's a powerful conversation. Let's get to our guest. She's not a guest, she's family. Rhonda Height is here, St. Louis. Thank you so much. She's family. We know her, for teaching, preaching, author. She's a scholar, social justice activist, theologian, and author. Reverend Dr. Pamela R. Lightsey is here with us tonight. Reverend Dr. Pamela R. Lightsey, good evening and welcome to Beyond the Gatekeepers. Will you please greet our online audience?
Hello, my friends, my people, everybody. It's good to be with you all tonight.
Yay.
Very glad that you're here. And I know that this is going to be a powerful conversation. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. Excited about people are already, chatting it up and trying to, make sure they tell everybody so they can get on and be here with us on tonight. And so I am grateful for that. And so somebody said, what are you going to talk about tonight with Dr. Lightsey? We are talking about holding the line between justice and destruction, a womanist response to war and political division. In other words, we're going to talk about all of the craziness that's going on in the world, and we're going to get it from a womanist perspective. That's what we're doing tonight.
Yes,
So we're
yes.
grateful. We're grateful for that. And so, Dr. Lightsey, I'm going to start off with this particular question from you. And we're going to try to, and then we'll go from there. We'll just let it be organic. This first question. So there's a saying that history does not just repeat itself. It reveals what we refuse to confront. And when we look at cycles of empire and war and voter suppression and the policing of marginalized bodies, what are the historical patterns you see re-emerging in this moment? And from a womanist theological lens, what must we disrupt now so we are not condemned to keep reliving these same injustices?
Ooh, we walking heavy to begin with, aren't we?
Yes.
So, and you all should know there are no questions that have been sent to me in advance. So we freestyling tonight. We
Yep.
just having a beautiful conversation tonight. So let me say this, from a womanist perspective, you will have always got to be thinking about how things are intertwined, how things intersect. So if we're thinking about war, and that's been on my mind a lot lately, what's the war in Iran, the genocide in Israel, what's been going on all around the world, Venezuela, all these, the harm that's being done to Cuba right now, all of that's been on my mind. None of this is in isolation. None of it is in war is never, should never be seen as something that just pops up, that just happens in isolation. War almost always happens because of imperialism, because of greed, because of economic exploitation. And that is what has happened with what we see right now. So I saw on the news the other day, Trump said he was surprised by Iran's response in the Gulf. And I said to myself, now how are you going to be surprised? How could you be surprised so if you were surprised, that lets me know that there are people in your administration are incompetent.
Absolutely.
And you don't follow history. And the reason I thought that is because, look, to the bishops and to Mother, you all know we've been having wars since I was a little girl. And
Yes.
what's going on in Iran, you could trace that all the way back to the 50s. You can trace that all the way back to the revolution, the coup, and the coup that happened in 79. But you can certainly trace it back to the 50s when and America and America's greed, the United States and also Britain, they were just milking this country. First of all, they had a man that they put in in a coup d'etat to take over the country. And this Shah that they put in, you know, he was brutalizing all these people, just doing harm to the people in Iran. And, you know, you put your feet on people's neck for so long, they are going to rise up against you. So you have an entire revolution. You know, you have this man that America and Britain put into office. And why would they do that? For the same reason, the same reason we deal with right now: oil, the big oil, the big oil. They worked out an entire agreement with this Shah that they put in. What was his name? Pahlavi. They worked out an entire agreement with Pahlavi so that America and Britain got like 80% of Iran's oil. 80% of their oil. How you gonna take 80% of a country's oil, put in there, do your own coup? So you put in your own kind of leader. So it basically, you know, we're giving them money. He in his mind, he thinks he's going to modernize Iran, you know, and is a puppet of America. And then he starts using his police. We say ICE. Police harming citizens is not new. It has happened globally. Whenever you have authoritarians that take control of the government, and they always end up trying to make themselves rich, trying to, you know, grease the hands of other people to the detriment of citizens. So this is not new. You can go from Iran with America and Britain. You see, because I just remember this history. I remember one important piece, and that would be you got 53. You got you got them putting in a Shah, and from the Shah you have them putting in Pahlavi, and you also before Pahlavi comes in 60 the early 60s. Mother Shirley would remember this. And Bishop, you'll probably remember this. You remember the Bay of Pigs? In Cuba, same thing, greed. America tried to take over Cuba because of the sugar cane. And decided they were going to train. They didn't like Castro. So they decided, Kennedy was president then. They decided they're going to send in Cubans who were exiled, Cuban Americans who were formerly exiled, that they would train them and drop them into Cuba. And what ended up is Cuba knew what was going to happen. And you get these people, you get a major slaughter and a major capture of these so-called warriors who were going to come from America and take control of Cuba, because we want to be in control. Oil, sugar cane, money, it's all the same thing. And what are we trying to do now? What is Trump trying to do now? Oil.
Absolutely. Oil and taking over Cuba. That's what he wants to do. He's talking about taking over Cuba.
History repeating itself. So he, you know, it's not like he didn't know that Iran would respond like they are responding. Look, they are students of history. They are students of history. So, and also you had people in the White House that had gamed this war out for years. They had strategies. They had gamed it out. They had talked about possibilities for decades, but Trump won't listen. So the fact that they're, you know, attacking people who support America, that shouldn't surprise any student of history. If you study history, you know that this was going to happen. And oh, by the way, America's hands have not been clean for a long time. All around the world. Right now we're talking about Trump trying to put in power his own person, but we've had American presidents and the CIA.
That's right.
We've been complicit in staging and putting up coup d'etats all over the world.
All over the world.
Have never been clean. And so what are we going to do? You know,
say that.
What are we going to do, knowing that our government has been corrupt for decades in the affairs of other countries, because we've had leaders who've been powerful and greedy? Powerful and greedy. And that hurts us as citizens. Many of us are sitting right now thinking, okay, now, if I got to leave America, what if? A lot of people are asking that what if question. I want to say, where you going? Really, that's been the question on my mind. Where are we as Americans going? Where America our leaders have not had some play in the affairs of other countries. You had Americans over in Dubai.
Yes.
Talking about they were going to be safe.
And they did nothing with those. They just, some people still there in Dubai. They cannot get a plane home. And we don't care.
But this is not the first time that America has not been able to safeguard its citizens.
Yes.
When those students took those American hostages, when was that they took those hostages? Was it it was during Jimmy Carter. That's another president.
That's correct. There was a hostage situation.
That's right.
That was in 1979, hostage crisis.
Right. And it must have been about 80 or so hostages. And then the Ayatollah Khomeini, because he came in after the revolution. Pay attention to history, my friend.
Yes.
The Ayatollah was in place then. But for the Ayatollah saying, look, let go of the women, let go of the African Americans, because they are oppressed in America, they would have kept all the hostages. The students took over the U.S. Embassy.
That's right.
And that hostage situation lasted for over a year.
Yep.
Yes.
That was over a year that thing lasted.
Yes.
So, we got Americans that are stuck in countries right now, can't get out. We had some soldiers, they tried to rescue some Americans during when the students took control of that embassy, and military folk lost their lives trying to gain the release, trying to by military technique gain the release of these Americans. They couldn't do it. The Ayatollah let some Americans go, particularly African Americans, and Black folk all over America were like, yeah, because we are oppressed over here. Let them go.
Exactly.
And I'm carrying on and on and on, Bishop. You get in anytime you want to. But history, it just really is something about history and studying history that just sends all the little dendrites in my mind a flutter. I get to thinking about the repeat of history and the things that have gone on. And right now, America, the consulates told Americans that were in these countries, you're going to have to pay for you're going to have to find your own way out.
Exactly. Exactly. And Bishop Flunder, before you say something really quick, we all need to understand everything that's been done has repercussions. And it has repercussions in the United States. We think, they're just bombing and killing people over there. Well, Iran said that the United States bases and assets, along with their soldiers, will not be safe anywhere. Not even at home, okay? Also, what has been called asteroids are falling out, or fallen stars, whatever you want to call them, being spotted in Ohio, Alabama skies. The MacDill Air Force Base was on lockdown earlier today. It's a lockdown alert. They asked the people to shelter in place.
At MacDill?
Because at MacDill, there's a reported threat. Home of U.S. Central Command. And MacDill is a target. So what we have done is there's sleeper cells here.
Domino effect.
Yes. We've created a world war. And when I say we, I know who the person is and the people. But there are so many more people who are behind him and surrounding him. He is a honest to goodness idiot, but a wicked idiot that goes along with that. And the people who are using him needed to have a wicked idiot in order to do what is being done. He's not smart enough to have done this by himself.
No.
It is a plan. And there's a couple of things that come up for me. First of all, the planet itself, I'm talking about Earth, is not what it once was. Okay? We are able to go places where we at one time in other world wars could not go. We could be seen, we could be heard, but now it's a relatively small place comparatively, because we have so many people, so many human beings. There's when you fly all around the world, particularly circumvent the whole planet in an airplane, you realize it just really is not what it was back when on Azusa Street, Bishop Vanessa and Dr. Pamela, when we were seeking for the Holy Ghost. It was it's not the same place that it was. It is small comparatively. And when I say small, I'm talking about population, but I'm also talking about where people stand in terms of their belief systems, what it is that they hope to get out of this, what is going to be the benefit to my country, when all of us are all pushed together into one great issue. If everybody gets hurt when the kind of things occur that we are experiencing right now, because we are much crowder, we are much more capable of getting into other people's locations and situations. We have some of the same kinds of weaponry that the other folks have, and the same intention in some way to win. What does it mean to win? When it's not you that is being killed, it's the 200 plus soldiers from this country. And one of the things that touched my heart so much today was when they were bringing the coffins in, flying the coffins in, and the families were released at the gates to go where the coffins were. And there was one family where the mother and probably 4 or 5 of her children fell over the top of the coffin of their father and husband. And they wept and they cried, and they wept and they cried, and they wept and they cried, and they wouldn't let go of the coffin. And the heart of that, let's weigh that against the uselessness of a war like this. None of this needed to happen. There were other ways that we could address different ideas and different situations, but that thing touched my heart so deeply. Yes, I was deeply touched about 175 baby girls, young women, young girls being killed. But in that moment, they did not have any anticipation that their loved one was going to be slaughtered in the way in which he was slaughtered. They didn't have any idea. They thought they were going to go. That's what Trump said. We're going to knock this thing out right quick. We're going to come right back, and then it's going to take us like a day or so. And then he went from that to be talking about that I will know what to do. I have to think about it. I have to sleep on it. I have to give it some thought. While this kind of sorrow and sadness, which comes with war, is completely unnecessary. It's one thing to have a hero in your family that dies, but it's completely another thing to have someone who dies for nothing. Absolutely painful. So there's a couple of things that come up for me that I want to share with you all. I said, and yes, the cost of gasoline, $8 now in some of the big cities. What is it in New York? Do you know, Bishop Vanessa?
It's like $6, $5.50, $6 so far.
We have some states where it is $8 a gallon. That's unbelievable to me. There's again, the fact that that Donald Trump has used so much of our money for all of the different trysts that he's wanted to do, from one thing to another to another. This is a multi-billion-dollar mess that some way or other could be a time for us to be fiscally in a position where we cannot take care of ourselves.
Really quickly, Bishop, people are chiming in on the gas. Somebody said $6 in the Bay, $6.50 in Palm Springs. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable, and it's going to get worse and worse. It is in the next few weeks. Is there anybody above that amount that's with us tonight? Anybody that's with us that's above 6, 7? I know where some
yes. Lay Pastor Ronnie Jordan says $8 in Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles.
And Pastor Ann is trying to comment, and she said for some reason she can't, but she want to say there is no winning. All the minerals and oil in the world can't justify the plague of death and destruction to the people and the planet.
And the last time that they asked him, where did he feel, or how did he feel about what is going on, he said, I'm going to have to sleep on that question. I have to sleep. He said, I have to sleep on that question. That's probably one of the most complicated responses that I've heard from him till yet. I'm going to sleep on that question. And so I am with you. I am with everything historically and currently that's been brought up by our sister Pamela Lightsey. But I am also very much aware that something real, tangible has got to happen. And this is my hope. My hope is that the right-thinking leaders of several countries throughout the world will also come together with those that are right-thinking people in the United States. There are many. I have to say, Congress is going to have to get some balls. They are going to have to stop acting like they cannot put this man down. He bleeds like I bleed.
Yep.
They can put whatever he has on them, because I know how he did this. He got something on everybody. They all, some reason or other.
Well, they do, because Congress voted not to release certain things that had to do with Congress people. There's something that went out, and they all voted on both sides of the aisles not to release certain things, because some of them are in there, some of their family members is in there, some of their kids is in there, period.
They got to find some balls. They have to find some strength, because if they don't find some strength, all of their families are going to be put in a situation anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the power of using what power that we have. And I do not understand how they think that they can get through this when everything he promised he wouldn't do, he has done. If he did that, he will do it again and again. And you know what? And then he'll fall over and die from all them 60, 70 different spots he's got on his body. He will, and will be left with trying to make this thing.
To clean it up. But it's going to be years before we could.
Talk to me, sisters. Come on.
Dr. Lightsey, I want to pivot to you. But before I do, you said something about Cuba. And I think this information, because you talked about history, is important for them to know. Cuba is viewed as a front yard security issue for the United States. And it remains one of the last communist states in the Western Hemisphere. That's important for us to know. Its location gives it strategic control over key maritime pathways, including major shipping lanes and checkpoints that connect the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic Ocean.
That's why
That's important. It's why he wants. It also sits along critical oil routes, like you said, Dr. Lightsey, coming from Venezuela. See what we done kidnapped the president, and Mexico. We're trying to take over Mexico, as well as trade flows heading into major U.S. ports like Houston, Miami, New Orleans. Is making it a high value position for both economic and military awareness.
And
we need to understand that.
He wants us to run. He wants this country to run the whole world.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Lightsey.
You know, I've been to, I don't know how many of our listeners have been to Cuba. I've been there twice. And I find it to be fascinating.
Yes.
They are a resilient people.
Yes, they are, sister.
America has tried to choke them off for decades. But they are resilient, and they have found ways to live and not care about us.
Yes.
But they care about their safety.
Yes, they do.
And their security. And so I have a serious appreciation for Cuba.
Yeah.
Let me say this, because I think it's important for Christians to think about war.
Yes.
To consider war in ways that the early saints and theologians of the church, they wrestle mightily with whether or not a Christian ought to be involved in war. You talked, Bishop Flunder, you talked about a soldier coming back. Part of my job working for the military was to handle what was called blue boxes. Blue box processes, and this is when a soldier was killed and they had to ship the body back. And it's a white gloves treatment all the way.
Yes.
But back to Augustine, they were wondering, why is it, how can a Christian, somebody who says they love the Lord, how can they go to war? And Augustine and others wrestled with that for a long time about whether or not a Christian should even put on armament.
Yes.
And they determined that there were situations where a Christian should be compelled to go to war. And they put together what we now call just war theory. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't want anybody who's listening to this to believe that our participation, that our actions against Iran are just.
That's right.
Trump has said that this is just, but it's not. There are at least 6 tenets of just war, and most of them he has violated. The first one is you have to have a just cause. You have to have a righteous cause to go to war. He didn't have no righteous cause. He can't even tell you why he's over there. And then
Lightsey, you said they have to have a what?
Just cause.
A righteous cause. The director of the National Counterterrorism Center, Joseph Kent, resigned, noting the ongoing war in Iran as reasons for his departure. And he said, I am resigning. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And it is clear we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby.
Oil is not righteous.
No, it's nothing righteous in that. You have to think about, you have to, it's not righteous. You have to have a just cause. You have to have legitimate authority. So the president or the king, someone who is in authority, only they can declare war. This one declared war. He's an authority. Some people would argue as to whether or not he's legitimate. You have to have the third one, it's right intention. Your intention for this war has to be right. And we don't have right intentions for this war. Ain't nothing right about our intentions. Waging war with all these different countries around the world. There's nothing that is a right intention for that. Here's one. It has to be the last resort. You have to say, I tried everything and there's no other way. You can't say, I'm going to war. We're going to hit them before they hit us. No. President Obama had already put in place an agreement with Iran.
Yes.
And when Trump came in office, he tore the thing up.
That's right.
Because of course he couldn't let that stand. So we're not in this war as a last resort. And then it has to have probability of success. I can tell you, Trump thinks he can be successful with just an air war. You cannot win a war by an air attack alone.
That's right.
And there is really no probability that we will be successful in
That's
this.
right.
And then the last thing is proportionality. You can't go drop a nuclear bomb and they only got arrows.
That's right, sister.
Our history has taught us that. And so Israel and America, all of the stuff that they're doing is polluting the atmosphere. We just read about the rain, black rain coming down in the area. It's not proportionality at all. So the wrong thing is happening. And then there has to be, this is a whole nother, that's just in below, but you also have to have proper behavior in war. And I'll just say this and I'll stop. One of the things that bothers me most is how innocent people are getting killed.
Come on, sister.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
From a womanist perspective, we are always asking who is suffering the most.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And in these wars, you know who is suffering the most in Gaza? Children, non-combatants,
Children,
people who don't sign up. It's not military against military. They are without any kind of discrimination, dropping bombs wherever they may be. And when you kill an entire school of children, you can't tell me that those people are not going to remember that for decades. We may think we're going to end this war in 2 or 3 weeks, but then people will remember this. America will never be able to sleep after all of these things have happened. We will never be able to sleep soundly.
No.
Never. You do not kill people's children.
No.
And think that's just.
One word, Bishop Vanessa. One word. Because I've been listening to church folks for several weeks now, before this happened and now. And a lot of my colleagues, my church folks colleagues, said, well, we're going to trust in the Lord. We're going to wait on the Lord. We're going to believe that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all we can ask. And we're going to wait on the Lord and trust in the Lord and believe in the Lord. And I am someone who believes in the power of prayer. And I know I'm talking to people who believe in the power of prayer. But sometimes we use what we call the power of prayer as an easy way out in a difficult situation. We think that that's all we need to do is take your burden to the Lord and leave it there. But I would want very much today to say to my colleagues and other people who believe in the divine, by whatever name that you believe in the divine, I want to say to you, it's going to take faith, but it's also going to take work. There are some things that have to be done. One of the things that I know that I stay connected with are the No Kings marches that are coming up, because I've been involved and engaged and marched with the No Kings March. It's going to be a massively large group of people. It's already begun, happening all over our country. And I want to say to those of you that are trusting in the Lord, you also need to put yourself in something, in some way. And somebody said, well, I don't want to be harmed. You're being harmed already. That's that. He said, well, I don't want to be harmed. And I guess I had to ask myself, I had to have this conversation with my spouse. What is it that we would live for, but what is it that we would also die for? Hopefully, if I have to die, I don't want to die for junk. Let it be for something that means something, that I put my hand on it. That's what Martin said. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but my eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. I understand that. And I think that those of us that are listening, I think it is time for us to move beyond fear and trepidation and to move beyond concepts and ideas about what is happening. The question is, what is it that we can do? You have your political people in your area. You have families that are totally discombobulated because they don't have jobs now, that they can't get gas. Bishop Vanessa, you've seen our place in Oakland, and you know we've always fed the hungry. But now the line, the circle that comes around the church for people to get a box of groceries, they have nice cars, they're dressed well, but the cost of gas and the cost of living is so high that they have to work a full-time job and still come to our building to find some food.
Yes.
We've got to do something about this, and we've got to seek God. And I really want to talk to my Pentecostal brothers and sisters. Y'all forgive me, because you know, we do really wait on the Lord. You know how we did. We've been waiting on the Lord and praying and doing well in our spaces. It's coming for you too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just coming for some people, a few people. God's going to keep us. What makes you think God loves you? Some of those that talk to me, God loves you and does not love the rest of us out here. It will also be your sons and also be your daughters and also be your neighborhoods. We got to get in the march with some people who don't even believe in God. Got to get in the march with people that we don't even want to rub up against because we don't like the way that we got to find a way to get together to do the justice work that's going to be necessary. I believe that we can win and that God will help us, but not with us sitting down and waiting. Our foreparents suffered many things for us to have what we have. I want my children to do well. I want my grandchildren to do well. I want them to thrive and get past this. And I'm so sure that many of us do, but you've heard something here tonight and you're going to hear more. Get in it. Put yourself in it some way or other so that we can become a force during this time. Forgive me, Bishop Vanessa, if I talk too long, but my spirit.
It's okay. It's fine. You got to say what you got to say. I want Dr. Lightsey to also weigh in. But before she does, I need to say this. Ramadan ends this week.
Yes.
I want us to be clear. Okay? And Iran will respond strong.
Yes, they will.
They have planned for asymmetrical war. And we are losing economically. We are not winning. We are losing. We have to figure out how long are we going to keep going on this road? Are we going to allow this to keep happening? Russia is helping, in terms of the cyberspace, right? We done got in bed with all kind of people, all kind of despots, and so I think that it's incumbent upon us to help us.
Yes.
Right. And people need to do the thing that they need to do. Somebody said, well, what do we do? How do we move forward from here? Bottom line is stay off of free accessible Wi-Fi. Eventually we're going to have to come off of this social media crap. Yeah. Right. God, keep a little cash in hand if you got some.
That's right.
Bishop Flunder, you were saying all of this stuff,
right.
Be watchful on public transportation. It's not safe to fly. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but right now, we're not paying these TSA workers.
That's right.
Did y'all hear me? I said we are at the brink of an energy disaster.
Yep.
U.S. and Israel have already initiated a global financial crisis.
Yes.
Okay. So the bottom line is that they're not paying the TSA workers. I don't know what we expect them to do. They're not in the wrong because they're not getting paid. So that means that they're not coming into work.
That's right.
And I wouldn't be coming into work either.
And they don't have to.
They got kids, y'all.
That's right.
They got families to feed. But I'm gonna go on, Dr. Lightsey.
No, I think you're right. I'm flying far less than I used to fly. Now, next weekend I'll be in Houston, and I'll end my time in Houston. For those of you that are in Houston, connect with me. I love to see you. I'll end my time in Houston at the No Kings March on Saturday. So I'll be in that march.
Yes.
Thank you.
There's something for us all to do. There really is something for us all to do. You can feed somebody, who's in a march. It's all kinds of things you can do. For those of us who have to travel, some of us need burner phones.
Yes.
You can bless us with burner phones.
Yes.
Because that's really important for those of us that are moving all around. You can gift the activists that are on the streets and doing all kinds of things that need to be done. But keep in mind, the citizens in other countries who we hurt, they don't mind dying.
They don't mind.
They think they don't mind dying. They're thinking, when you kill me, there's another dimension of life, and they're gonna greet me beautifully. I'm gonna get a just reward from my labor here. They don't mind dying.
They don't mind.
And we on the other hand have been so harmed in so many other wars. Vietnam there's a psychological thing with America when it comes to war because of what took place in Vietnam. We really we hesitate about war. Jimmy Carter lost his bid for re-election because of what happened with those hostages.
That's right.
So we have a bad taste in our mouth when it comes to war. Even MAGA people are beginning to rise up and say, hey, no, you said America first. It can't be America first when you got all these wars going on all over the world. So you just can't have that. We have to be a voice also. We have to challenge this top-down kind of political and military authority and authoritarianism. We have to be willing to sacrifice something. This is honey, this is not going to be easy. And this is more than just my gas is costing me too much.
That's
right now.
Exactly right.
That's the least that we should be inconvenienced about when children are being killed, when families are being torn apart, when our siblings who migrated to this country for safety are being stuck in ICE facilities. Gas? We complained about gas?
Come on,
my God.
No, we got to do better. We really have to do better. And if in fact we're angry about those things, then we really do. I mean, some of our response has to be to stop spending our money in ways we spend it.
Come on, sister.
Because as I told you all at the beginning, you see the greed of American leaders in the oil, the big oil that was the top 6 oil companies, Britain, colonialism, America, sugarcane, so on and so forth. They're all about enriching themselves. Trump has become a billionaire since he's been in office. And we doubted that he was a billionaire when he came in. This is the second time. And he only ran for office a second time so that he could stay out of jail, because he knew he was going to get sent to jail. So he ran to avoid being sent to jail. Now, if we are not moved by the idea that a criminal is in office enough to vote, every time you get the opportunity to vote, I don't know what's going to move us to vote if this second time around does not move us to vote. And yes, you're going to have to vote for the reduction in evil, for harm reduction. I know that many people don't want to talk about
that's the truth. Absolutely.
You got to vote to reduce harm, baby. You have to do that. And you have to be willing, just like we're staying out of Target. Yes, we are still boycotting Target.
Yep.
You have to be willing to join when the call goes out for a national boycott. America needs a national boycott now more than ever, where we close our pocketbooks, our wallets, and not spend a single penny.
A national strike.
We need a national strike.
And please bear one other thing in mind, and that is that they are making an effort to change our dollar to Bitcoin. And that whole concept of doing that means that when you think you got money, now imagine money is connected to what we allow money to be. And if a group of people have this whole Bitcoin concept is to take us in a position or put us in a position that only certain people can really get to real big money. And that real big money, by another name, is not the money that's in the places where we're talking about $1 or $5 or $15 and it's in the bank, at the bank. This country has done this before, because my grandfather was living during the time when you could have a whole bag of money and take it to the bank and find out that it wasn't worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
It has happened before. Let me say it again. It has happened before. So if the money is being changed for value in another way, such that only a few people, wealthy people, will have access to it, that will explain to a large degree why he's throwing money away the way that he is throwing it away.
Yes.
What Dr. Lightsey is saying is exactly what just anything that he wants, no matter how much it costs, no matter whether or not we should have it or not, or whether he should build it or not, or he should go to war for it or not, which Bishop Vanessa may be one of the principal reasons why he wants to go to war.
100%.
That's where we are.
We really, if we do nothing else, as activists on the streets, we have this chant, I believe that we can win.
Yes.
I truly do. I want all of you all to understand, I believe that we can win. This is just not about, oh, woe is us, or, all these things happen. But history has shown us that the people united can never be defeated.
That's right.
Fred Hampton was killed in his bed, in his house, in the city of Chicago.
Yes.
Because he had the audacity to always remind the people, power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Come on, sister.
And the people united. This is how we are going to overcome. But we cannot do this if any one of you believe that you don't have power.
That's exactly
all of you have power. Every last one of you has power.
Every last one of you have power.
Yes.
Did you hear what she said?
Every last one.
And it's something that Natasha Robinson wrote. And we cannot tie our liberation to only one person, one leader. It will take all of us looking to any one person to be a savior is contributing to our own demise.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Now, also, Dr. Lightsey. Yes, Bishop Flunder, Mother Miller. People are asking, what do we need to do to prepare ourselves? Mm-hmm. I think that's a great question. This is not fear mongering. We're going to tell the truth as we know it. As we know it, some of the things that you should be doing. One of the things I have been telling my congregation for the last 5-10 years, get a passport. I know that sounds like a common thing, but you know what? Everybody can't afford a passport. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you want to do something for people, help people get their passport. That's something you can do. You can contribute to people getting a passport.
That's right.
Yes.
But this is the other thing, though, Bishop, that this idea of helping somebody else, we really have to go back to the point as a community where we recognize that our health and well-being is tied to someone else's health and well-being.
Right.
True.
When somebody Mother Miller, you remember the day when somebody needed a cup of sugar? They go over to their neighbor's house and get a cup of sugar.
That's right. That's right.
What can we do? How are we going to survive? We have to start making stronger connections in the community. How many of you live in communities and do not know your neighbor?
Come on.
We have to start to get to knowing the people who live around us and cultivating relationships to help us to survive.
That's
absolutely.
Right. That's right.
And this is holy work.
Absolutely.
We need to have these conversations like we have that we're going to have a conference or a meeting for the church. If you understand what I'm saying, like we're going to have a revival. We need to have this kind of revival where we bring the congregation in. Come on now, you all. Come on. And if whatever we don't know, we ask those guests to come to us and to spend some time with us and help us so that we can do something other than speak in tongues and roll on the floor and carry on and get through and not be clear about this is also holy work.
It's holy work. I was going to say really quickly about that passport thing, just to add on this. It's not just about helping people get out the country. Dr. Edie said it as well, and I think we said it earlier. You can help people vote. Since they saying you need a passport, then this is a way. You can help people to get out and vote if you help them get a passport.
That's right.
Bishop was talking about a time when your money wasn't even good. But let me just say this also. You know, you all see a lot of people like me and preachers, and I think Natasha just spoke to it. We have a lot of leaders in our communities that we don't know about. Everybody can't do everything. Everybody doesn't have expertise in everything. You know, my neighbor had to teach me that when I initially moved to Chicago. Oh yeah, I could preach. But I'm the one who put anti-fluid where windshield wiper fluid where the that
could be a problem.
Antifreeze was supposed to go. I don't have the expertise in fixing cars, but we're gonna need mechanics. We're gonna need people to help us with air, heat, HVAC. We're going to need people who have expertise in internet and all of these things. And we can all come together and help each other. Bartering should not be a thing of the past. We got to understand the value in our hands.
That's right.
The value in our skill sets. Some people can sew, some people can knit. Some people can fix cars. Some people can grow food.
That's right.
Everybody, we all have something to contribute, and we got to start tapping into those skills.
That's right.
That's what our foreparents did.
Yep.
And we are who we are because they did. Now we have some children now of the flesh and spirit, and we are called by God to lead in many, many ways. And prayer is good.
Yes.
I want you to know there's something Mother Shirley and I wake up and go to bed thinking about the importance of prayer.
Yes.
But when you get through praying,
yes, get up and work.
And you come on, Mama said, get up
and work.
And work. Get up and work. That's a Shirley Miller saying.
That's so true. You know, we scholars, we in the academy.
Yeah.
And I'll say this being a scholar. Sometimes I think scholars think that's the whole world, but our work is just a tiny work. There are people don't even know who we are, but we think we so much. I mean, I'm not trying to discount who we are because I appreciate what the Lord has given me. But in the scheme of things, there's a big old world where people don't know my name, don't know your name, Bishop, don't know Bishop Flunder, don't know your name, Bishop Brown, but they will know you by your fruit.
Yes,
how you love them, how you care for them, how you look out for them during times of trouble. And that's what I'm trying to right now, what I'm trying to just kind of nourish my sense of loving people and helping people and supporting people and not thinking too much of myself, you know.
Yes.
Because I really want to be understood as somebody who loves the people.
Yes, ma'am.
And in times of crisis, I want people to know if I got it, you got it.
That's right.
I can't put my arms around the whole world.
Yeah.
But I really do try to use my gifts to help the people. I can't help everybody. And I refuse to be asked to do stuff that people can bless me to do. You know, don't abuse your leaders. Don't abuse people who have gifts and skills. But let's come together to help one another, and let's bless one another along the way. I think,
amen.
I think there's a gospel, that's a womanist way, because we believe, you know, one of the things in the womanist is that we believe in the people. A womanist, one of the womanist ways is very communal. You can't lean on being an individual in true womanism. In true womanism, it's about the community. It's communal.
Oh, that's good. It's time, beloved. It's time.
It's time. And this has been a really rich conversation. I think that people, you know, again, no fear mongering here. We're just telling you facts, things that we feel like you need to do, things that we feel like you need to know. You know what I mean? Boots on the ground, folks. This whole communal piece, being in the marketplace, doing the things that we need to do to help one another. This whole thing about mutual aid. This is going to be important for all of us moving forward. How do you do that? You know, find out where the food pantries are. Find out how you can help. Who's cooking dinner? Who's got live food? Who's got food that's stocked? You know what I mean? Where can you go sit down and get a meal? Where can you send people? Because it's that time.
That's right.
It's that time.
That's
right. And it's showing up all over the country, all over the United States of America. And as Dr. Lightsey said, you can't kill other people's children and not expect retaliation.
You good? That's it, Bishop.
That's it.
I'm with you.
You can't kill other people's children.
No,
you can't, you know what I mean, destroy their property, you know, their way of being, their food, everything. You can't do it and not expect. And so, you know, because I'm a billionaire, oh, well, you know what, it's not going to affect me. Yeah, it's going to affect you. Did y'all hear the person give us a response? There's a video of Iran responding to us.
Yes.
And it's not a fake video, saying exactly what's happening. Said, bottom line, they're not looking for us. Now, some of us might get hurt in the interim, but they're not looking for us. And they said that. They know who they're looking for.
Yeah.
They know who they're going to target. They know what they want.
And they don't mind dying.
No, and they don't mind dying. We need to be mindful.
Yep.
I see people putting things in the chat. I want to make sure that we acknowledge some of the things that are in the chat. The disease that's the disease eating this country and world up, the disease of individualism. Yes, Pastor Elect. Lucian, correct. Mutual aid, community care, rest strategy, the time for insight from each other. This is not the time for competition. It's time for everyone to get in position and in their roles. Yes, Dr. Waterson, thank you. I see you. Love for Dr. Lightsey. Yes, about Cuba and Cubans being resilient. Somebody invoked Dr. Renita Weems' sermon, Where Are the Smiths? Anybody remember that sermon? Where are the Smiths?
The paint off the wall.
It's still living. It's still living today. Alternative communities of flourishing has been the way of spiritual community. Yes, 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 yes. Healers, horticulturalists, childcare, herbalists, cooks, you name it. Right, we need it right about now. Mutual aid is the way. That's Natasha Robinson. Yeah, we're gonna need each other. Everybody is saying some of the same things. Dr. Dwayne Davis said, Dr. Lightsey, yes, identify the people in your congregations who work or have expertise in business, labor, faith, education, civil service, military, and police. Engage your church people and where they are. They may have what we need. That's it. Who can
you know
do
what, Bishop?
Yes.
You know what I just thought about? Our businesses, the business owners can do more than one thing. The reason why Black people so adore funeral homes, Black funeral homes, is not only because, you know, they know how to dress our bodies in a way that other funeral homes cannot. It's also because back in the day, funeral homes, they use their cars to take people to hospitals. The funeral homes did more than one thing. They were emergency. Those cars were used for emergencies within the community. So I'm saying that to say our businesses can do more than one thing. And
can our churches.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. Our churches need to do more than one thing.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a chance to think of one last line that you want to be able to say to our listening audience tonight. I'll give you that opportunity to think about Mother Miller. I want you to think about whatever you want to say. Bishop Flunder, I want you to think about it. Dr. Lightsey certainly wants you to think about it. Really quickly, I want to read 2 comments and then I'm going to read some announcements. Bishop Brown, the spirit of Martin and Malcolm are alive and well. Let's continue to work on behalf of our people. We are one. Yes. Dr. Jamie Edie. And may I also add that I think in this time, we also need to practice lament as a spiritual technology. It is also beneficial psychosocially and neurospiritually, in addition to all that was named. Thank you so much for that. We're going to give you all some announcements while they think of last words that they want to tell us. So we welcome you to Beyond the Gatekeepers. Thank you for being faithful to us. We are coming up to our 6th year in May. We want you to continue to support our broadcast by sending a donation. You can go to www.paypal.me/TFAMJustice. We appreciate whatever it is that you will give to support the broadcast. We are having our East Coast Region Summit this weekend. Freedom Rising, Hosanna to Holy Defiance. Reverend Dr. Delvin Coates is our keynote preacher. Dr. Danielle Bahuro is going to do a workshop. Pastor Eunice Coleman is going to do a workshop. Reverend Naomi Washington Leapart is going to do a workshop, and that's going to be, they're all going to be wonderful. But this is going to be definitely about authoritarianism and freedom and the things that we need to do. MIT Nala Toussaint is going to be giving a workshop as well. Reverend Dr. Bryant Woodford is going to be doing one, as well as Reverend Dr. Jamie Washington, who will be moderating a panel. So if you are interested in coming, registration is still open. It'll be open until the day of. Adults are $100, over 65 is $75, seminarians are 60, and St. John's, it's going to be at St. John's Grace United Church of Christ in Catonsville. And then on Sunday, we'll be having service at Govans Presbyterian in Baltimore. So 2 separate places, Catonsville and in Baltimore. Reverend Dr. Jamie Washington is the preacher. Join us. We look forward to seeing you. We've got about 15 kids registered for Sankofa Children's Initiative. I'm excited. Dr. Danielle Bahuro is having a conference April 21st to the 24th. Sankofa CPE inaugural Clergy and Chaplains Mental Wellness Conference. It's going to be at the Chicago Marriott in Oak Brook, Illinois. If you want to go, please make sure that you go to www.blackchaplainsrock.com. It is a conference that you also want to be at. Save the date. Save the date. Join us for a powerful and uplifting experience. Bishop Flunder is going to be preaching on Sunday, April 26th at 10:30 p.m. at Abundant Peace United Church of Christ in Las Vegas, Nevada. The host pastor is Senior Pastor Wilford Moore. Why is she going to there? Because they just purchased a building. They just purchased their own building. Such a wonderful thing. And so Bishop is going to preach and do the building dedication. If you want to join them in Las Vegas, it is Sunday, April 26th at 10:30 a.m. We say congratulations to Pastor Wilfred Moore and the Abundant Peace UCC Church. And the fellowship is having our leadership conference July 22nd to the 25th. We will be at the Sonesta Hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our theme is practicing Ubuntu, resist, repair, regenerate, TFAM Leadership Conference. You can get more information by going to www.tfamconference.org. Early bird pricing is $150. Students are $75. I'm telling you that registration is growing. We are excited. Please, please, please support our conferences and all the things that you've heard. We're grateful for our presiding bishop, still giving us vision and moving us forward in the things that we need to do. We are grateful. Thank you so much for our announcements. And so I'm going to start with Mother Miller.
Yes. Well, I would just like to encourage our audience and all of you to realize that God has not preserved life in you for no reason. He has preserved you for this particular time. Mm-hmm. And because he has, allow the Spirit of God to direct you and to move on you in any way that you feel the Spirit of God moving, because God works through us. Yes. And not just around us. Yes. But through us. So trust the Spirit of God to lead you and to guide you and to speak to people on the street. even when you don't know them. Speak to them. Let them know who you are.
Yes.
And that way that God can use what it is that he has given you to give to others.
Powerful, brother. Thank you so much.
Man.
Bishop Flunder, and then I'm going to ask Dr. Lightsey.
Amen. And I would also say, I think it's really time for us to move beyond going up at someone else's loss. And when I say that, I mean that there's still a lot of competition between us in all of the different ways that we show up. Some of that is left over by the way that people treated us at certain times in certain situations. And I think that this atmosphere is calling for us to forgive. And I say that also because when we don't forgive in our communities, what ends up happening to us is we cannot really serve one another. And I think that everybody that feels that bad was done to them, you probably did something bad to somebody else too. At some of that, let me make an I statement. I'm guilty in some places, and I want to be received, and I want to be forgiven. And I think it's important that if you want to be forgiven, if you want to be loved, if you want to be held, if you want to be covered, it's important to forgive and love and cover those that God has called you to do. That's where the lesson is. That's what we can do to create community. It's community making time. We are going to need one another, and collectively, the Holy Spirit will bind us together in love. Thank you so much, Dr. Pamela R. Lightsey. Every time I get with you, every time I spend time with you, every time I talk to you, every time on the telephone, in between some of those superlative words that you use. She's a great superlative person, and very knows exactly where to place the superlatives. But I have to say to you that you're the real deal, sis.
Thanks.
You are the real deal. I am so blessed. We are so blessed to be sisters. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much, Bishop Vanessa.
Well, Bishop, I will, I started talking about a lot about history because I'm a student of history. And I think that history is not 100% the same, but it does present itself to us in ways very similar in our current time. And if I were to connect dots between where we started this conversation, what Mother Shirley and Bishop Flunder have just said, I would probably end with a question. And that question is for all of us to consider: where can I be an agent of restoration and not domination? Yes. Where can I be an agent of restoration?
Yes.
And not domination? How can I do that? How can I help restore peace in situations that conflict exists?
Yes.
Where can I be an agent of joy where sadness exists?
Yes.
How can I use my skills to restore equality?
Yes.
Where the scales are so often tilted on the behalf of of those people who are constantly grabbing, power grabs all over the world.
Yes.
So that question, where can I be an agent of restoration and not domination? I'm going to be thinking about through this week.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I receive that.
Yes.
I receive it. I love it. I'm grateful. And I pray that you all would share these conversations. I love the questions that we are left with to think about, to ponder about. I'm hoping that you would share the conversation with other people, whether through text or whether through social media, however you choose to do it. This conversation was amazing tonight. And I know that we all should be trying to ask that question about being an agent of restoration and not domination.
Domination. Yeah.
That requires us to look at ourselves,
Yes.
not point the finger.
That's
It's
right.
not about somebody else and what you see in somebody else. It's about you.
Yes.
That's Dr. Lightsey is not asking us to point outward. She's asking us to point
That's right.
inward.
Good word.
So grateful tonight. And listen, if you have other questions or things that that you are burdened with, drop them in the chat. Most of you all know us, you know what I mean? Let us know. We want to be there for you.
Yes.
We we have to do. A lot of us are moving about, but we want to be there for you. We love you. We
Love
say
you.
God bless you, and we say have a wonderful evening.
Yes.